to Wellness in Woodford. This is our summer edition. And Cory and I have with us some very special guests. They are the queen and king of summer. They know how to do summers the right way, and we're going to talk all about it.
That's right.
So we have with us Avery Cooley, who actually, it's her birthday. So everybody join me in wishing her a happy, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I wish I knew which word the applause are. Hold on. There it is.
Yay! And then also we have Harrison Prather.
Yes.
And these kiddos have been friends for quite a while, really. And
I mean,
so
since
kindergarten,
like 3 years.
kindergarten?
No, 3. Like since kindergarten.
Oh, for 3 years, I think he meant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least 3, right? Because kindergarten, let's see.
least,
You're going into 5th grade. So you both are going into 5th grade, which is wild.
it is wild.
Summers get even crazier, I guess, as you get older.
Yes, for
But yeah.
sure. So in order to prepare for our summer edition and our first podcast, which is going to be centered around summer safety, we asked our kiddos to come up with some of the things that they love to do during the summer. So they essentially created a summer bucket list. And I think they probably have some similarities in their lists. So one of the things, I guess, Avery, read yours first. What are your favorite things?
We could start at number 1 and then talk about it and then talk about the safety of it. So yeah, go ahead and start at number 1. What's your number 1 thing?
All right. So I have 5 things on my bucket list. So
Yep.
it's like number 1, just swim.
Okay.
It's kind of all. It's just
Yeah.
swim.
Just swim.
And that's like
Number 2.
All
is
the pools.
It's just beach.
Beach.
yes.
I was gonna say go to the beach, but I can't erase.
That reminds me of the Barbie movie where they're like, beach. That's his job. All right.
And then I have biking because I have a bike at my house and my grandma's house. So
There we go. Sorry, fixing your mic. All
I
right.
have volleyball, but my dad missed tryouts. Yeah.
Oh, well, that was back in March. Yeah,
Well,
that was
I've
my
been
bad.
asking since February.
We'll get there. We'll
Yeah.
get there. This is
But-
great. This is great. Let's just talk about all the things.
yes, yes.
And I have a volleyball net at my house, so.
Yeah.
And shopping. I'm actually going shopping this weekend. I went shopping yesterday with my dad, but he got football cards.
What else? Yeah, exactly. Yep, there you go.
And that's really all.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
H dog.
I had crafting.
Yeah.
Ah,
He's into the 3D art.
that's cool,
Yeah,
man.
I like
I'm surprised she
making,
didn't have
like,
that
a
on hers.
bunch of 3D things.
That's cool. She does. You do a little bit of clay, but you have in the past. What's next?
And then I also do like biking, so I just put biking.
Yeah, I like that.
Like biking on the beach or
Oh yeah.
anywhere. I don't really care. And then swimming. I
Yep.
just like swimming.
Swimming's awesome. Always awesome.
And then playing outside because it's like my number 1 thing that I do every day.
That's really cool to hear.
Like 2 hours.
Nice.
Yes.
And then shopping because I went shopping last week.
Sweet. Yeah, man.
You all have a lot of things in common.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised at all. But let's start with swimming. So, what do you all think? What are some things that you can think of that would keep you safe while swimming? The one thing I'm thinking about right now is particularly to keep your skin safe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not like scrape against the walls.
That would help quite a bit.
Concrete.
Staying away from the bottom and the wall. So, making sure you can't like
Bonk your head on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
wall.
Like
So
when
the-
you're maybe doing backstroke.
that
Ooh.
or diving in. Like some
Diving.
water's too shallow to
Yes.
So
I've done that.
yeah, that
I
hurts.
dived in and I didn't know it was like a 3 feet pool and I bonked my head on the bottom.
Ooh.
That actually was not that long
Mm.
ago.
Ouch. That
So you got to be
that-
careful. I mean, and what's the number 1? I mean, the number 1 is no
sunscreen.
running. Oh,
Well,
it's obviously
Yeah,
sunscreen.
I don't put on.
But yeah, for your skin specifically, sunscreen.
Yeah.
If you
And
were
you
gonna
should
be
wear.
out all day, or maybe at the beach because
Yeah.
Oh, the beach. Yes.
sun
So
is so
Yes.
much stronger.
for sure
That's
at the
what I-
beach. Yeah.
I always do it at the beach, but like when I'm at my grandparents' pool, I don't really do it because I've never gotten sunburnt.
Yeah, well, you're
You
lucky.
have. You have.
So if you were here with
That.
us, you would see Miss Avery has a darker complexion than Harrison.
Yeah.
Harrison got his complexion from my husband, but actually, his is not that. You're not as light as Dad, but
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can get.
So does that have a different? I mean, complexion wise, I mean, obviously that. I mean, you should wear sunscreen no matter what, obviously, but
Yes.
but some complexions probably burn
Yes.
easier than others.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you just want to make sure before you get in the pool, especially if you're prone to burning, to put on some sunscreen, and then you should reapply about every 2 hours, depending on what activities you're doing. So if you're getting in and out of the pool a lot, drying off, getting,
Right.
like you may want to put some more on. And then you can, there's SPF ranges, like the sun protection factor ranges from 4. I don't know if I've seen anything less than 4 to
Oh,
like
gosh.
100.
Yes.
So really, it's whatever strength that you want. And supposedly the ones with
Is it-
it's like a cream that like stays
Yes.
kind of on you, so you can tell exactly where you've put it.
Right.
And if it starts to like rub off, you can reapply.
I've seen that too.
Those are kind of like the more popular ones. So that was a great start.
Yeah, really good start. Yeah, because I mean, yeah, as I've gotten older, so I used to be kind of like Avery and never, I never really had to wear, obviously unless the beach or we're out there a lot longer than just maybe an hour or two. I didn't really have to. I didn't have to wear sunscreen all the time, right? Because I didn't burn. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't doing damage, right? I mean, I was always darker complected, but as I got older, that changed. And Avery knows about this. I thought I was still cool.
Yeah.
Could not do it. So
laid out on
sunscreen
the
is a
beach.
necessity for me,
Yes.
no matter
very
what.
much. He laid
Yeah.
on the beach. Last time we went, it was in like March and April, like between March and April. He was like dark red, like
That's that spring break sun.
burned.
Yes.
Oh my.
It hurt.
Burned.
It hurt. But stay safe out there swimming.
And if you do get burned, I actually keep an aloe plant at home.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can take the aloe straight from the
Yes.
plant, and it's a home remedy, but it is actually very effective. So, also some things to keep in mind, if you've got a little brother or sister that doesn't quite know how to swim yet, making sure they have on their floaties or
Yes.
their life-saving device. And then, of course, always recommending that when you're in like a lake or something, even if you know how to
Oh,
swim.
gosh, yes.
Always keep
definitely.
on, because you don't know how deep the water is
Or what's
and-
under there.
Exactly.
Like there could be some, like a vine or it could be something under there. Yeah, you
That
never
could,
know.
like, wrap around your leg.
Yes.
Sure. And then
Pull
also,
you under.
oh, for sure. And then you got the, God, what do you call those? I used to call them something specific. The little shoes, the swimming shoes.
Yes.
Yeah, those are what you use at the beach. I mean, at like a lake.
Because you can cut your feet very quick, like
Yeah.
those shells and
Mm-hmm.
sand, and
Yeah, when I
sand
was at
is glass.
Yeah, technically.
when I was at the when I was at the beach in like March, I was like getting seashells from my mom because she was like, "Bring me some seashells. I'll
Yeah.
actually play with you for once."
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
kidding. And I stepped on one. It was like face up. It was like sharp, and I was like,
Oh.
and it like,
Yeah, it could hurt.
yeah, I stepped on it.
Did you bleed?
No,
Oh, I was gonna say, because it.
That's the
that could have
worst.
ruined your week.
I
It could have definitely
felt
ruined the
it,
week.
though.
Yes.
That's good. You got to be safe out there.
Absolutely.
So that kind of covers, I mean, swim and kind of beach on
Yes.
your all's lists, right? I like to. I don't know what's. I mean, I'd like to talk about the next biking.
Yeah,
Obviously,
biking.
That is so. Head injuries very common in kids your all's age, and bike helmets can actually reduce the risk of injury up to 45%. So if you wreck and you have on a bike, there's a far greater chance you'll be protected if you have on that helmet,
Yeah.
a well-fitting helmet.
Yeah.
I know, we've got all sizes of kids, so they have to make sure they have the one that fits them, and then it's not like just jiggling around
Yes.
and will fall off. So Very, very important because I have seen you all ride your bikes and I know how fast you can go. And, also one thing too to keep in mind is if there is a sidewalk, stay on the sidewalk because cars usually don't drive on the sidewalk.
Yeah, usually, hopefully.
Yes, we're hoping that bad things have happened. And then, if you're just learning to ride, it would be a good idea to have like elbow pads on and knee pads on. I think
we did that for a little bit.
Knee injuries, like that's really common.
Yes.
Scraping.
Like right on the palm of the hand too, because when you fall,
catch yourself.
There was a saying when I was younger. We had a presentation about that, wearing safety equipment, and it was the pavement always wins.
It does.
I always thought that was like terrifying, but also true.
So true.
Avery, and like as all kids, and I'm Harry, I'm sure you're the same. Helmets aren't cool. Helmet. Well, I went online and I said, okay, how about this helmet? And we bought Avery.
He bought me a dirt bike helmet.
I bet it's very effective.
It sits. It's snug. It wraps all the way around. A little sweaty.
Snug
I don't
translation. Sweaty.
Yeah.
I don't have one at my grandma's house, but that's like a real like mountain bike.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like helmets. Like they're uncomfortable a lot of the time.
And that's a normal thing for kids,
Yes.
to not want to wear any of that stuff. But at least a helmet, and that's important. Do you
Absolutely.
you wear your helmet, Harry?
Not really.
Oh,
That is not
See?
true at all. I mean, let me just first say.
At least I tell the truth.
You did tell the truth, apparently, but I need to be outside watching
But that's a good
you
point.
because I always say,
yeah, wear a helmet. Absolutely, that's a good point. Make sure. I mean, and I, and that's true. Now I'm gonna start doing that now. Actually, I'm gonna make sure, at least before you go out of there, check in and make sure you got that helmet
Just
on.
so you know, whenever I go to my friends,
It's like a seatbelt.
yes, it is.
well, sometimes I don't wear my seatbelt, so I forgot.
Well, we try to do the best we can.
That's right.
Yeah, I mostly do though.
And this is probably no. We talk about me and your mom and everybody. We talk a lot about how look. We try our best. You got to get out there and you got to keep a close eye on things. But in the back seat, if we're going to like maybe. Down the which is still not good. Don't get me wrong, but yes, sometimes we'll like all of our family lives in the same neighborhood, so we'll pop down there, and it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget going to short places. But I've also heard things where it's like, actually, the shorter the drive is the most dangerous because sometimes you may not wear your seatbelt on those short drives, but it can still happen just as easily.
Right.
So sometimes yes, you forget, but as long as
We've got
on
some
the long
allergies.
drives, yes, sky allergies. Tell me about it. You got to wear those seatbelts. Those things. And actually, it feels weird. Like I don't know about you, Cassie, but as you get older, it feels weird when you don't have it on. Honestly, even when I get on a golf cart, sometimes I feel like I naturally want
Yes.
to clip it on.
When I'm on the golf cart with you, I'm always like this. I'm like, oh. Like when I'm
Yeah.
on the golf cart, I like try to
Yeah.
put it on, but I'm like,
So that's a good habit. So you guys do
Absolutely.
better than you think you do. Honestly, you probably wear your helmet a little bit more than you think. You probably wear your seatbelt, but you don't think about it. But that's great. Biking. I mean, what else we got for that?
Well, I'm okay. Let's talk about when we're outside biking or just playing outside. Because I think you all, volleyball, biking, swimming, all those things. When you're outside, what are those little things that just drive you nuts? Like on your skin, biting,
Ooh,
like
Spiders.
well, spiders can.
terrifying. Yes.
mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
Yes.
Mosquitoes, yes. And then what else has been in the news recently for being like
Oh.
Cicadas.
cicadas? Well, thankfully they don't bite. Well, okay, they
of
don't bite, but when they land, they can actually kind of
Prickly.
prick your
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah,
It's 'cause they have the-
horseflies.
Ooh, horseflies are tough too.
Yes,
Yeah.
horseflies are awful.
Watch
So-
out for those guys.
I could never have no.
They
Cicadas.
hurt.
Yeah.
They hurt, and
They're terrifying.
yes, they are huge. That's why I always like the kids see a mayfly, which is
Mayflies are just horrifying, but I know they don't do anything.
They're like really big flies, but they're really skinny.
they are.
Yeah.
And I don't
skinny
think
legs.
they do anything to you.
Yeah.
They're annoying.
They're just
They're ju-
annoying.
yes.
But mosquitoes are definitely something that to talk
Mosquitoes are
about.
just just itch.
Yeah,
And they
itch.
can actually transmit diseases.
They can.
They can.
Oh.
They can.
Yeah.
Some things like that aren't as prevalent here
Yeah.
in
Kentucky,
Kentucky.
yeah.
Even
they
Kentucky, even the United States.
So what can we do? What things do you all do to prevent?
No, not sunscreen.
Like
Bug spray.
there's,
Yeah, bug spray.
Yeah, there's like off like
Yep.
Ah, there you go.
I
Yes.
have to have like a stash of that at my grandma's house because she's like mosquito infested. I'm not kidding. Like I like to call them skeeters sometimes.
Yeah, skeeters.
Yes.
Skeeters.
Hey, listen, we're in Kentucky. I think they are formally known as skeeters. Skeeters.
And then you know what else I hate though? I hate chiggers
Chiggers.
Yes.
in the grass.
Yes.
So when you're in the grass, just be careful.
None of my friends believe it.
Oh,
I'm not
they're
kidding.
little
I'm like,
buggies.
don't lay around in the grass. You're gonna get chiggers. She's like, what?
Yeah. I don't know what they're really called. Grass. I don't know.
I
That's
don't
what it'd be called.
Spiders.
Oh,
Grass
yeah.
biters.
And
Grass
I remember
spiders.
I always put like clear nail polish over them to make sure that they would like smother. I don't even know
Yeah.
if that's
Yeah.
effective.
No, that's
but-
exactly what we used to do. That's so funny. And like, I don't even know if I've done that to. We may have, but it's just. I don't know. It's just not. Is it? I got to be wrong in this. I just feel like I don't hear about them as much anymore as I feel like I used to. But maybe
Yeah.
because
We
I
don't
don't
just
roll around the grass.
lay around in the grass.
I mean, when you get a good golf hit, yeah, you kind of like, yay!
Oh,
And
yeah,
you lay
sure.
around the
That's
grass,
true.
Like, woohoo!
That's
I have
true.
done that. Yes.
You very much have.
Just you get a hole in one or
Oh, that would be
sink
great.
that putt,
Oh, I don't
whatever
think
you're
you ever
gonna
have.
Well, that I'm never gonna have.
No, both.
Yeah.
He may.
One
He's
day.
still young.
Yeah, still
He's
young.
really
Still got a
young.
chance.
What about
37.
ticks?
Ooh.
Ticks. I just found one on my dog.
Yeah. Talk
Yeah,
about
it
that.
sounds
They do
odd.
love dogs, but they do love humans too.
Yeah, I've had a tick on
He's
me
had a tick.
from golfing. I was out in the grass, and it, I guess, crawled all the way up my leg to my waistband, and I didn't feel it probably for a day or so, and it wasn't like super
No, you
big,
found it
but
that night.
I was terrified.
I think you found it that
It
night.
could have been.
They like to hide.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we
Ooh,
like,
I hated that.
you went golfing that
Mm-hmm.
day. I think you were in like a tournament or something. You were like, you said you found. I think I either was with you or it was a different time.
Well,
I think-
I've seen them on, like, I watch out for people now. Like, if they walk in the grass, I'll look at their legs, and I always tell everybody. And
Oh,
I'm probably
yes.
super annoying when I do it because
Yeah.
I literally do it every time. I tell
Wearing-
people, check your legs.
Yes.
I don't
Wait,
care what
why are
time
we
of
talking
year
about
it is.
golf?
Light colored
Well,
clothing.
ticks.
Well, yeah, because they usually, golf courses are, around a lot of trees.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's where I usually
Deer.
stay. in the trees.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
In the rough. In the rough. But no, they can climb. Actually, there's a cicada on the window.
Look at that. Yep. Speaking of critters
That
out there
gotta be
during the summer.
It is outside, thankfully.
And I use off the tick and stuff before I go out there. I have it in my car, and I have some in my bags, and as well as sunscreen too.
Yes.
I use that quite a bit. So yeah, man, ticks give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you do find one on yourself, always make sure to use
Yeah,
tweezers.
Tweezers. Use tweezers.
To make sure, because they have like
Yeah, they have,
these like pinchers. And
they
go
can hold on
inside
to you.
your
Yeah,
skin.
it buries its head.
Once they're buried,
Yeah,
I want to call them biters.
we can call them biters.
yeah.
We get the
Fangs.
Yes.
Like
Little things. Well, yeah, they grip onto you. They bury your head, so you have to make sure you get the head out with it when you use tweezers. And I actually put it in a bag and went to
that's
the
so smart.
and I went to the
don't know where it
doctor.
is.
I remember when I don't know if you remember this, Mom, but Hadley woke up and she had a tick on her shirt. Do you
Ooh,
remember that?
Was she younger?
Yeah, she
Then
was
I probably
way
don't.
younger.
Oh, okay. You all have had ticks before,
We have one.
and they like to get in places like under your arms,
Yeah, like
Foldy
under
places.
so, like you can not
that's why it was on my
lose
my
yourself.
waistband.
because it was hidden
Yeah.
under your pants. So
Right by
yeah,
my stomach.
they are strategic.
Yeah.
But then that was a really good point to save the tick so that they can identify
Yes.
because certain ticks carry certain
Lyme disease.
diseases. Exactly. And so you want to watch wherever you were bitten.
Mm-hmm.
Wash it with water, soap and
Yeah,
water.
like soap and water.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to go to the doctor if you develop any kind of red
Right.
especially if it's a red ring, around that bite mark. So that is,
and it lingers.
Yes.
Yeah, and trust me, I was like, Mr. Research. Apparently Lyme disease isn't prevalent. Pretty much, I think there may not even been a case a couple years. Like I think, am I right in that? Is that Lyme disease? We can look that up, but I don't think Lyme disease is super prevalent in Kentucky. I want to say
It's mostly in like Australia, for example.
oh my,
Like,
well, everything wants to get you out in Australia. Thank goodness we don't live in Australia.
I could never go there.
Harry, do you want to go to Australia?
No.
Yeah.
Don't
Anybody
get up
does.
close to your.
There's too many like dangerous animals. Like
spiders.
I'm not that scared of spiders.
I mean,
Sand
even-
Some
spiders.
arachnophobia down.
Yeah, sand spiders. Yeah.
Sandworms too.
that's
There's a bunch of
Beetlejuice.
poisonous
It's giving
Sandworms. I ate them myself.
There's also a bunch of like poisonous animals in Australia.
Yes, like a bunch of poisonous spiders.
When I was in
like,
Okinawa, there were poisonous frogs.
Oh my word.
Yes,
Okay.
the worst.
So it bite you?
They have the oil on their skin, and if they rub up against you, it hurts. Yeah, it hurts.
Oh, my
It'll get you. It's in the jungle, baby.
Well, I guess you never can tell. So we've hit swimming, biking. We've talked about mosquitoes,
Yep.
ticks.
sports.
Sports. That's a really good point, because even when you're out doing something like that, and you're in the sun and you're in the grass, you need to make sure you're protecting your skin. You make sure you don't get any bites or anything like that. But another thing that, like Harrison, he has really bad allergies. And so, of course, talk to your pediatrician about what, allergy medicine is best for
Right.
you or your child. But another thing that we have found that's been really beneficial is showering at night, because he goes
yeah.
in and out of the house
Yeah,
50 times a day.
showering at night is my favorite. I like to shower at night and brush my teeth at night.
Yes, same thing. So that is what we've learned is, like, all those allergens that land in your hair, on your skin, you wash those off, and so in the morning you wake up and you're not like
Congested,
ick. You have
Icky.
less ick.
Less ick.
Less ick. So, is there anything else you all want to talk about
We talk
before we
about-
close out?
Talking about maybe safety in shopping, maybe being out in
Yes.
public.
Staying with your parents.
That's right.
Yes.
You
Don't
can stay with your
I can
parents.
sleep off.
What are some things I tell you, Avery, when you go out with your mom sometimes?
Always like, well,
Try to fix your mic here, babe. There we go.
Here.
Okay. So, like, what are some things that I tell you and mom to do when you go out? Maybe if I'm not around. I say it all the time.
well,
How do I not know this?
I'm putting you on the spot. I always tell you, be safe, right? Look around. Always be mindful of your surroundings.
I'm thinking of our school sayings: "Be safe, respectful, and responsible."
Hey, that's
I
good
mean,
too.
that works there too.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially in parking lots, just
Yes.
crossing the street. I mean, hold hands. It's still cool. It's not. You don't have to. No one's around. No one's gonna see you. But yeah, you can hold your parents' hand if you want. That'd be great. But always stay in eyesight, right? Always communicate.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't go. I know our kids used to hide, or I used to hide in like the racks.
And the clothes, yes.
And then my mom would walk off. She didn't care.
Yeah,
And then
well-
I was scared because I couldn't find her.
Oh, I've gone to the front and asked to the PA to
Pager,
call the
pager,
page. Yeah,
yeah.
paging. Or is there a, Jerry Hartley? We have your son. She's just
He was hiding
livid.
from you, and
Yeah.
then you just walked away.
Exactly. But you've never done that. You've never. You're safe. Way safer. Way better than I was.
Is
What-
there anything that I ever tell you?
See ya.
Crowd, he's like, nope.
See ya.
Stay
Bye.
with you. Hold
Stay
your
with-
hand.
There you
Yes,
go.
definitely.
Yeah.
And then one thing that we do, which I'm sure that the kids could absolutely
Yeah.
just like kill me for.
Oh gosh.
But when we are traveling, especially when they were younger, we would all wear the same color. Not necessarily when we got to our destination, but especially on the way, because you're stopping at places
Yes.
you're not used to stopping.
Good idea.
And so we would all wear or they would all wear like tie dye, And then never go alone. That's
Right.
Even when the kids are walking around the subdivision.
Even the bathroom. I mean, I don't like to.
Yeah.
I don't like to send her in by herself. I mean, obviously, I can't go into the women's, but
Yeah.
like especially with your mom, or I'll stand outside.
Stand outside.
I don't trust nobody.
No,
Like-
you can't
Yeah.
these days.
Especially in like the women's restroom, like always like make sure, like especially you, Dad, like,
Yeah.
hello, is anybody in here? Because
Yes.
there could be like a man, like
Oh.
blind.
Well, that's a
like,
whole other. That's a
Yeah.
whole other conversation.
True. Like,
But yeah, no, you never know, man. You never know. Someone could have got confused, and I mean, it's better safe than sorry. That's all.
especially if,
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
And then even when you're biking, if somebody strange pulls up to
Ooh,
you
yes.
and asks you questions that you aren't comfortable with, just drive away.
Yeah.
If you don't know them, you feel that stranger danger.
Mm-hmm. You should
even
recognize them immediately,
Yes.
and nobody should be stopping and talking to you if they don't know
Yeah.
No.
True.
You definitely don't want to talk to anybody that you don't know.
you. Yeah.
Or take anything from, even if they offer you
Candy.
candy or a popsicle or ice cream.
Want to come see my puppy?
Yeah. Negative.
Nope.
No thanks.
Nope, we've got some at home.
Exactly.
We're
No
good.
thanks. I got my dog.
Yeah. We got a big old
I got
big old guy.
daddy. He's not gonna do. He's not gonna do anything.
Zod's a big
Bad-
boy.
Bad guy like breaks in. He's just gonna do like bark, bark. Give me some food. Like I don't
He's
know.
got a pretty good bark. I don't
puppy.
know. I wouldn't put it past Zod. We don't really. I mean, he's kind of a mutt. He's a
Yeah,
collie,
mix of everything, bro.
German lab mix. He could have wiener dog in him because he's got the weirdest shaped body and the shortest stumpy legs and a little peanut head.
Yeah, he has the peanut head. Humongous body.
Let's hope Zod doesn't listen to this.
I don't
won't
think
tell
he
him.
could. I
We
want a
won't tell him.
corgi.
Huh?
Don't tell him,
I want a
guys.
corgi.
A corgi?
I saw there's two corgis that live in our There's two corgis that live in our neighborhood. They're menaces. Like I was walking down to my house after playing at my friend's house
Yeah.
last night.
Well, this is a good actually little segue here. Go ahead.
Yeah, these people, like they're two girls, like teenagers. Like,
Yeah.
we're walking their two corgis, and this corgi was like barking at me,
Mm-hmm.
and like it scratched me.
So you're out walking, you're out in public, and it's summertime. People are walking their dogs. You want to pet dogs. Be very careful. I mean, you
Yes.
got to, first of all, always tell you what. Always ask, can I pet your dog? Can I pet
Yes.
that dog? And then
No,
you walk up and you what? Let them,
like let it sniff
Let 'em-
you
right.
a little, and then like pet it.
and then see how they're acting. Absolutely.
If you know the dog, like nah.
You
Just,
still got to be careful
yeah.
though. But yeah, I mean, and especially like a stray dog, don't
Yeah.
approach it. Don't
Like,
don't
what
walk
if,
toward.
What if it's like a wolf and you don't know?
Well, there, a wolf, that would be
Oh, well,
pretty
maybe-
insane to see a wolf in the middle.
Coyote, maybe.
Coyote, yeah, maybe. A
Coyote?
fox. So you just never know.
But
So just be
that's
safe
not really
on that.
here around for sales like Kentucky, really.
They'll be out.
Coyotes.
Usually they're out. Well,
Yeah,
sometimes
well,
they
they're
come
out in,
into
like,
subdivisions.
Sometimes, yeah. I've seen
have
some
a
on
lot of
Huntertown
neighborhood
Road
cats.
before.
Yeah, they
We
get
have a
this
lot
place.
of neighborhood cats, though.
We got some neighborhood cats.
A
Same
lot.
thing. Just be careful out there,
Yes.
right?
Feral cats.
Am I right, Harry?
Well, sleep.
Poor-
And make sure you get plenty of rest.
yeah. Plenty of rest,
As Harrison's nodding off during
Hey,
this podcast.
Summer's fun, but stay up late some nights. But hey, look, you still got to get your rest.
Absolutely.
I had a sleepover with my friends. When was my party? That was Saturday.
Yeah, wow, feels like forever ago, right?
Yeah. Saturday night.
Yeah.
I stayed up till like 1 a.m.
Mhm.
But that's not a lot for me.
Oh, yeah,
Not
yeah.
really.
She's a
I'm a night owl.
night owl,
and
yeah.
Not a morning person at all. You would know that.
Mhm,
You would know that of how I am in the mornings.
yeah, for
You
sure.
definitely would. And
This is
gonna
great.
say,
Like
yeah.
we're gonna. Yeah, for sure. But we always make sure we get enough.
Yeah.
We
And
try
that-
to get enough sleep.
and
But
that
that's a problem
morning-
for everybody, adults too.
Yes.
And that morning, I woke up at like 5 a.m. and I could not fall back asleep. So I just kind of did pranks to like all these like 5 girls. Like
Oh, pranks.
I was like putting my foot in their faces, like sniff my foot.
Oh, well, that's great. So hopefully none of their parents hear this. Moving on. I doubt you really did that. But anyways, it's been awesome having you all on.
Yes.
Is there any final thoughts? Anything else you want to completely blow me and Cassie out of the water on? And
I'm just excited for McDonald's after this. That's all.
Oh,
Yep.
did you get
Can we
promised
get
you wanna-
McDonald's?
We should all get McDonald's.
Here we go. We got.
We'll
well,
have to see.
Please.
I will say this though, we are going to go over to Bluegrass Traditions, and we're going to
yes.
record a
Yeah.
video with Madonna, so that's coming up.
Yes.
Mental Awareness Month was awesome.
Yes.
We had like something like 8 more podcasts than usual, all about mental health, all ranging from different subjects and some same subjects, but different people that bring different views to the same thing. And
Is it gonna be like all of us again?
we can do this again at some
Yeah.
point. Sure.
Yes.
Me and you should just have a podcast, Harry.
There you go.
You
Yeah,
all
we should
could
all just
record your
podcast
own on phone.
School.
Yeah. That
be
could be a
great.
disaster.
How's life going?
I don't know if we want to.
Here's somebody fall asleep.
Yeah. Who knows? No, it's been great, guys. It's been really
Thank
fun.
you all for sharing your bucket list with us
Yeah.
and talking to us about how we can be safer during the summer. And
We can always get on the health department website, right, and the Facebook and find
Absolutely.
any other facts.
Yes.
I'm sure there's graphics out there we can post along with this.
yes, there's
and
one that comes to mind when talking about swimming, and
Yeah.
it's like choosing the right color.
Oh
bathing
yes,
suit.
we did talk about that last year.
We did.
Yes. That's very true. Certain colors in water can blend in, like at the beach, in the pool, and I
Like
think
a
at the
light
pool it's like
blue.
you want to be, like a light blue. You
Like
blend
blue,
right in.
like especially if you're like curled up in a ball, just kind of like.
Well, I hope you're not curled up in the
Well-
ball in the pool underneath the water.
Sometimes I act like. Sometimes I just
Well, we
kind of
do
want to be
pool
a
parties.
roly-poly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just act like a
Or
roly
tea
poly and I
parties.
just roll.
Roll.
Yeah.
Just roll. My
That's
friend,
fun.
Pushes me with her foot, and I'm just kind of rolling.
Well, one more thing I want to
Yeah.
ask you all before we close. I just thought about this. What do you all think drowning sounds like and looks like?
I mean, that's what I said. I said, like for swimming, I said don't stay underwater for too long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think, like, if
Especially,
you,
like,
Like what?
What
like-
would you
what if your
think?
friend is like swimming and you don't know, like, and she doesn't know you're behind her? Don't like jump on her because she might not be ready.
that's true.
like-
Right, but say somebody's in trouble, and you're looking at the pool, right? A lot of your friends are out there. They all seem okay, but what about that one friend that maybe doesn't? Maybe it looks like they're drowning. What in your head and can you imagine maybe what that would look like?
Maybe like laying down,
Like-
not like
Like
moving
splashing a
bunch.
lot, maybe.
Okay.
At first, and then just.
Yeah, splashing
Maybe
a lot,
if like there's already lost like all of their what's it called
like just
Consciousness.
Yeah,
consciousness. Okay, yeah. So at that
like
point,
they can't be moving.
Yeah.
right? At that, I mean, no
Like,
matter what,
Maybe
probably
like
call.
they're unconscious.
Yeah.
So making sure that we're being aware of like the other people in the pool, because drowning can be silent. It can
yeah.
be just
See,
someone with their head barely under the
Especially
water.
if they're like
yeah.
maybe like nonverbal, like
Yep.
maybe they don't talk, they can't like scream like help or
Sure,
something.
yeah.
They would just
And if they're
like-
already choked on water, they can't
Mm.
speak. It's
Yeah.
kind of like choking. Choking is actually silent. When you're
Yeah.
choking and you can't get water or air, you can't say anything and you can't cough.
Right.
So just making sure we're watching out for our friends and family when we're in the pool, around the pool.
Yep.
You know, if somebody,
Especially if there's no lifeguards.
yes, absolutely.
Someone should always be watching.
Yes.
No matter what, when we're at the pool, we always at least have one adult out
Yeah.
there
I've
watching.
been swimming since I've been swimming since one like
You've been swimming. You were young, yeah.
like
but-
I lost
Like started early.
yeah, I lost floaties when I was like at least
Yeah.
2.
well, I tell you, and that's a good point too to end on. Is hey, you could have swum for 30 years. You could be swimming for 3 years. It doesn't matter. You could drown. You
But-
can drown in like an inch of water or something like that. I
Yeah.
mean, so you get a cramp, something happens out of the normal.
Especially yes, like cramp in like
Yeah.
the middle of like water, especially if you're like the middle of the pool and you have
Yep.
like
Yeah.
well yeah.
Sure. Yeah, the deep end. Always be careful. But I
Always
think
be
you guys.
careful.
Yeah, I think I feel pretty. What about you, Cassie? I feel like we've.
I feel like we've talked about a lot. We've covered a lot
Yeah.
of content in a very small amount of time,
Yeah.
but in a fun way,
Definitely.
an informative way. And then I
agree.
think we have a few, actually, there are some additional mental health topics we're going to be covering, possibly at the end of this month if we can get it scheduled.
Yeah.
Perinatal mental health. So mental
Oh,
health
yes.
around, pregnancy and all those things. So
For sure.
we've got some exciting things coming up, but we appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah.
For Wellness in Woodford, another edition, and this is the summer edition.
Mm-hmm.
We'll chat soon.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye.
Adios.